Hey, Kaylin, this is our first podcast.
Hey, Tori, why don't you tell them about it? Welcome to She Means Business, the podcast where ambitious women come to own their power, break boundaries, and build empires on their own terms.
I'm Tori.
And I'm Kalynn.
And each week, we dive deep into real stories, strategies, and mindset shifts that female entrepreneurs need to thrive in today's fast-paced business world.
Whether you're just starting out or scaling your brand to new heights, this is your space to get inspired, learn from game-changing women, and turn your passion into profit with confidence, clarity, and a whole lot of boss energy.
If you're ready to stop playing small and start showing up fully for your business and your life, you're in the right place. Let's get to work because she means business. So we are strong women that love to empower other strong women. And we hope that through this podcast, you will learn, you will be inspired, and you'll get to meet other female entrepreneurs.
We're going to start by telling you how we got into this, how we became business owners ourselves.
So I'm going to tell you a little bit about my story. So I was a stay-at-home mom for most of my kids' lives until my youngest was in the second grade. And I decided to go back to work, and I started working at the local YMCA because fitness right back then was my passion. I was a senior engagement director in Statesville and in Troutman. And when COVID hit, of course, the Y had to shut down, and us directors were doing kid camp. And I am not one to do homework. I don't even like to do homework with my own kids. So that was definitely not for me. But the Y had to do some cuts, and I ended up taking a layoff. So I was on unemployment, and I reached out to someone about real estate, and gosh, the rest is almost history. I was hired as the director of operations, became director of operations and director of sales, and then came this girl.
Well, it wasn't that easy. I was in high school and I decided that I wanted to be a nurse because I feel like that's like 90% of teenage girls' dreams is they want to be a nurse because they want to make a crap ton of money. Well, of course, that's not the only reason, but I decided I want to be a nurse, so I started taking the classes. I ended up getting my CNA, and I graduated with my CNA. So I was 17 years old. I went and was working for the hospital because at this time COVID was happening and I wasn't in school anyway. So I was working and doing school online. But I was working as a CNA at the hospital, and I was always getting looked down on because I was 17 years old, being a CNA, and everyone was always like, you'll hate it, blah, blah, you won't like it. And so that means they ended up being right. I ended up not liking it, ended up not being for me. My stepdad was building houses at the time, so he was like, well, why don't you go and get your real estate license and you can sell the houses that I build? And I was like, that's a great idea. Not knowing anything about real estate. I decided to go and get my license which was not easy. It took me a long time. I failed twice, but I passed the third time. I came across a post before I finished of a team that was looking for an agent to hire on. So I was like, well, that's me. I got in contact with Tori, went through that whole process, and joined the team, which taught me the ropes of where I needed to go because in real estate school they teach you nothing, and real estate changes literally probably daily. So I learned the ropes. Tori ended up leaving that team, and shortly after, I came across an issue in a transaction that I was in. I contacted her and I was like, hey, I hope you're doing well. I haven't heard from you in a while. Wasn't really sure why she left or anything. So I was like, let's catch up, and, maybe you can help me with this transaction a little bit because I'm having some questions. And so we met up for coffee, talked, figured out what I needed to figure out, and then realized that where I was not benefit me in the way that I had hoped it was. I didn't have the support that I needed. And so I left. I decided that I could do it on my own, kind of. And that's when we decided that could just do it together. We didn't have to have a team. That's what we started at saying. We don't need a team.
That's right. We kept saying we didn't need a team. I think we had a little PTSD or something. Okay, so yes, we got together and we're like, okay, we can do this. We can do this on our own. And that was my thing when I was on the team was, of course I was salary and coaching the other agents and everything. And I happened to have surgery and was on the couch, and I was like, you know what, I can do this. I really, really want this for myself. And so we really just started working together along with Wendy, and figured out that maybe we were better off as a team, because I always say this, that in real estate, but really with anything, it's important to know what you're good at, but it's just as important to know what you're not good at. And I am not good at the paperwork and all those little small details. So Wendy is. And we just kind of hit it off, me and Kaylin, and we haven't looked back. We decided that we were going to make a team. And I guess that the Three and Co name is kind of confusing to people, don't you think?
Yeah.
Because our first hire, Ariel, she thought that I wouldn't want her on the team because it was just the three of us, which it has nothing to do with that. So the Three and Co name came from my faith, basically the Father, Son, the Holy Spirit, and the three crosses. So that's where Three and Co came from. We took a year to build this team because we really did not want to start this team and not serve the people that join our team. So I met with a biblical business coach, which really is just my pastor, but we basically built what this team was going to look like, our mission statement, our vision, and all the while Kaylin was working on our systems and getting them down pat. And hey, we still a hot mess, but we're a work in progress.
But all at the same time, still running a business. Like, it's not like we took a year off to start building this. Like, we were still busting our butts, working full time to make our dreams come true. At the same time, we were looking to help someone else's dreams come true. So that was like our whole goal in doing this. Like, it has nothing to do with the money. Like, we literally just want to help people, hence this podcast too.
Yes.
Because it is so hard being a female, being your own boss, doing all of the things. Like, there's so many things that people look down on you for. And like, even not even being a female, especially if you're a young female, like, the CNA thing, when I was 17 doing that, I was looked down on. When I got my real estate license, I was 18 years old selling people's houses. Like, I mean, even to me, I'd have been like, heck no, I ain't putting my house in that 18-year-old's hands. But like, I did it, and I did it good.
You
so, I mean, you got to know what you're good at, like she said, and you have to have faith in yourself too, because there's no way that, one, I knew what I could and couldn't do by myself. I always asked questions. I knew how important it was to my clients, to the people I was working with. Like, that's your name, your business. Your name is your business.
Yeah, and being an entrepreneur is not easy either, and people don't realize this, is that we don't have a social media a team, and we don't have a bookkeeper, we don't have any of that stuff. It's me, myself, and I. And so we are still working our butts off. But that year where we spent building, there were a lot of late nights, a lot of early mornings, and still trying to take care of yourselves, and
a lot of random shower thoughts.
A lot of random shower thoughts. That's exactly right. And we're still trying to take care of a household. And I have 2 kids and a husband, and she's got a man.
And 2 dogs.
And 2 dogs. Oh, I have 5. And, trying to balance all that, it's definitely not easy for women. Mm-hmm. I feel like that's one of our biggest challenges, too, because here, we're all women. There's 6 of us in this building almost every day. And the biggest thing is, what are you having for dinner tonight?
Yep. And it's the most hated conversation we have. But it's not just that we don't work a 9 to 5. Like, you don't work a 9 to 5. You work when there's work that needs done. Like, you work all the time. There's not a set schedule. So say we leave the office, we're going home, taking care of things that need to be done at home, like dinner or the dishes or laundry, but also answering our phone, stopping, writing contracts, showing houses at 7 o'clock at night. Like, you have to there has to be a work-life balance, but I just don't think that there is a work-life balance in this industry.
It's not a real thing.
I just don't think, maybe for some people, but maybe we're just so passionate about what we do, we're not going to be like, sorry, I'm off at 5.
Yes. So when we started building the team, 3 & Co., we really wanted to be different. We weren't, like Kalynn said, we weren't out for the money. We just wanted to help people. So Kalynn and I are both still in production because that's how we make our money. With the agents that we hire, we want to bring them in and build them up, and one day they can either spread their wings and fly because we've done a really good job, or they stay with us on a reduced percentage of the commission, a reduced split. And I want to help them build their brand. So when they get a listing, their name and their face and their phone number are going on that sign, not ours. It is our logo because I'm real particular about pink, but it's all about them and helping them build their business. So can we talk about the stress of when we first announced the team and not having an office space except for the coffee shop?
Yeah. Well, all the while this whole year, it's not like we were working in an office together. It was Tori's house or my house or the coffee shop or over the phone. Like, it wasn't like we were going in at 8 in the morning and, well, let's talk about this. Just didn't work like that. And I mean, it was a really busy year too.
Yes.
So it was kind of like we gotta fit this in. And then announcing that we were ready, but we didn't have an office. Like, we didn't have nowhere for the agents to come. So were we going to be able to give them what they need, not having an office space, over the phone or in the coffee shop? I mean, the coffee shop got a lot of money from us.
Still does.
Yeah.
Let's just be real.
Yeah.
We kind of run on coffee.
Yeah. But there's not, I mean, it was kind of like okay, we've waited long enough. We've held off long enough. Let's just do it. Like, everything else will fall into place. And it did.
It did. Gosh, when I say that God was with us the whole time, He was with us the whole time, because we had a small space that a friend of ours was opening a bigger shop, and she gave us a little bit of office space upstairs, and it was great for Kalynn and I and maybe one other, but we quickly realized that we had outgrown it. And
because we quickly grew, we weren't expecting that.
Yes, we were. We were not expecting that. So we found the building that we're in now, and gosh, we're just so blessed to be here.
It definitely was an act of God, because we did make one post that we were looking for agents when we first announced it. We had put in there, but nobody really came from that. Like, we didn't have a bunch of hits from it. It was a couple months later. Ariel was the first one that came up, and she was in a hard situation herself, so we met with her, and now she's a part of the team. That was just kind of one of those out of the random things. And then Shantae and Viti, they just came to look for firm recommendations, not a team, and here they are.
We sucked them in.
Yeah, but it's great. Like, we were wanting to build slowly. Like, let's just do one agent and then maybe another agent in a couple months. But it was like boom, boom, boom. But I don't think I wouldn't want it any other way. Like, it's all worked out perfectly.
And I think one thing that's different for us that's really great, and if you can build this yourself, is that we really are, or it feels like family. We laugh together, we joke together. Heck, the other day, everybody had their kids here, their dogs here. I mean, it was absolute chaos, and I think that I was in a little bit of overwhelm with all the noise. But
a little bit.
A little bit. I think
we all were.
Yeah. I did put my headphones on at one point, but it's just it fills my heart that we can have people come here and they're comfortable with their families here. We hope you enjoyed our first podcast. So in the future, plan to be with us every other week for about 30 minutes worth of encouraging words from other female entrepreneurs as they come and sit with us and talk to us about the good times, the hard times. And maybe it'll inspire you to either start your own business or get creative and move in your own business. And remember, there's always a seat at our table.